He wanted to stop Wilma from going on the quest, so he turned himself into an old woman. So when he saw that Wilma was coming to just solve the quest, so what did he do? He just changed himself into an old woman, so he can pretend to be someone else and stop her. Page number 11. As Wilma went by, Grimlock said, "Hello, my dear. What are you doing in the forest?" "I can tell an old woman," Wilma thought. "I am going to rescue the crystal bell from the evil, Grimlock," she said. Grimlock pointed. "Then go that way," he said. Wilma went along the path that Grimlock had shown her. Soon the ground became wet and muddy. Wilma's feet sank into the mud. Sank is the second form of sink. Is this really the right way? She wondered. Suddenly, she sank into a muddy swamp. A swamp is a large area with a lot of water. "Oh, help! I'm sinking! Help me, somebody!" Wilma was frightened. She was sinking deeper and deeper. She couldn't get out of the swamp. As you can see in the picture that she is just, instead of just coming out from the swamp, she is just sinking inside it. Suddenly she saw a white unicorn standing on the edge of the swamp. "Don't be frightened," it said. "Hang on to this branch. I'll pull you out." So there is a unicorn over there to help her out. What is he giving? He is giving a branch to her to get her out of the swamp. "Quickly, jump on my back," cried the unicorn. "We must get away." As the unicorn galloped through the forest, gallop means to run. Grimlock fired an arrow at Wilma. "You'll never bring back the crystal bell," he shouted angrily. "You'll never get past the dragon." At last the unicorn stopped, so they ran away from the swamp, and they just, as you can see in the picture, they just come by a desert. "You must go on alone," it said. "This is as far as I can go. There is a ring tied to a ribbon around my neck. Take the ring. It will only give you one wish, so don't waste it." Wilma took the ring and the unicorn galloped away. So there was a ribbon along with a ring around the neck of the unicorn, and he gave it to Wilma and asked that there is only one wish that that ring could fulfill. Wilma walked across the rocky desert. She was hot and tired. She almost wished for a drink, but she stopped. She didn't want to waste her wish. Then she heard a shout. It was a gnome. A gnome is a type of a dwarf. "Help me!" someone shouted the gnome. "Be quick before it is too late." Wilma untied the gnome. "Oh, thank you," he cried. "I was tied up here by Grimlock. This is where he feeds his dragon." "But why did he want to feed you to the dragon?" asked Wilma. "Because I burned his toast," said the gnome. So there was in the desert, she found that there was a gnome tied up onto a log, and who tied him up? Grimlock. Okay, so and what did he do in this log? The dragon feeding post means there was a dragon and he fed him. Suddenly the gnome began to tremble. Tremble means to shiver. "Oh no," he squeaked. Squeaked means to make a high, loud pitched voice or sound. "The dragon's coming for his dinner." "Oh, help," said Wilma. She looked at the ring. As you can see, there's a dragon flying and coming towards them. "Maybe I should use the wish to kill the dragon." The gnome gave her a lemon. "Try this," he said. "Dragons hate lemons. They can't bear the smell. Bear means to resist. They cannot carry." Wilma began to peel the lemon. "Will the dragon run away?" she asked. "I don't know," said the gnome. "I've never tried it. This is a chance to find out." "Ah, ah, ah, tishoo!" went the dragon. It gave a terrible roar and flew away. So the lemon worked up. The peel of the lemon, she just peeled the lemon and she just put it in front of the dragon. And what happened? He sneezed, he roared, and he flew away. So it means the idea of the lemon worked on the dragon. Hooray! Shouted the gnome. You did it! I was very frightened, said Wilma, but the lemon worked. The gnome handed Wilma a mirror. Take this mirror. You'll need it to kill the basilisk. So, girls, you have read about the basilisk, right? You know that basilisk is a kind of a snake. The basilisk is even worse than the dragon. As you have read about the basilisk before that, whenever the basilisk sees someone, when you see in the basilisk eyes, you get killed by it by just taking a look at him. What's a basilisk? Asked Wilma, and how can I kill it with a mirror? So, can you remind all the things that we read in that comprehension passage? What is a mirror? What is the use of the mirror with the basilisk? Its eyes can kill you, said the gnome. When you see it, don't look into its eyes, and you'll be turned to stone. Hold up the mirror and let it look into his own eyes. So, as we read in the comprehension, that the mirror helps by killing the basilisk, as the basilisk can only see himself in the mirror and he can be killed by it. Does it work? Asked Wilma. I don't know, said the gnome. I've never tried it. This is a chance to find out. Suddenly, with a great roar, the basilisk charged at them. He attacked at them. He was coming towards them. Wilma held up the mirror and the monster was killed by its own terrible eyes. So what happened? The mirror worked. The idea of the mirror worked. It killed the basilisk. Hooray, called the gnome. You did it. See, it's turned to stone. I was really frightened, said Wilma. You are brave and good, said the gnome. I've never met a brave, good person before. I'm going to help you with your quest. The gnome took Wilma up the mountain to Grimlock Castle. So the gnome took Wilma to the Grimlock's castle. They went up to a steep path. A steep path means a slide in which you can rise and you can fall. The gnome knew a secret way to get into the castle. This way to the kitchen, whispered the gnome. Come on, but don't make a sound. I'm frightened, said Wilma. Wilma and the gnome didn't see anyone in the castle. At last they came to the room where the crystal bell was hanging. Wilma gasped when she saw it. She couldn't believe how beautiful it was. Gasp means to say something taking short breaths. I've been expecting you, said Grimlock. You can spend the night here. Hissed the Grimlock. Tomorrow I'll feed you both to the dragon. Oh dear, said the gnome. What shall we do now? Grim looked at the magic ring. It's time I made my wish, she said. So what wish? The wish, the ring that the unicorn gave her to make a wish. She could only make one wish, and now there was time to the wish that she can make now. Wilma's wish started to work. The bell began to ring. Its sound grew louder and louder. It rang so loudly through the castle that cups and saucers broke and the glass in the windows cracked. Hour after hour, the bell rang. Grimlock's cars heard as the bell grew louder and louder. Sorry, it's the Grimlock's ears heard as the bell grew louder and louder. Grimlock could not bear the noise any longer. He tried to smash the bell with a hammer. Smash means to break, but it wouldn't break. Stop it, said Grimlock. I can't stand it. The sound of the bell will kill me. I think my ears will burst. At last, Grimlock asked Wilma if she could make the bell stop ringing. I can, said Wilma, but you must let me take it back to If you don't, it will begin to ring again and it will never stop. Take it, said Grimlock. Take it back to So Wilma and the gnome took the bell to the and the quest was over. When the bell returned, beauty came back to the again. Birds sang, flowers bloomed, and new leaves grew on the branches of the trees. Everyone cheered Wilma and the gnome. The magic key began to glow. It's time for me to go, said Wilma. She gave the ring to the gnome. The magic is used up, she said, but keep the ring to remember the quest. The gnome eyes filled with tears. Thank you, he said. I shall never forget you. Biff came back from the dentist. Sorry, I was a long time, she said. Did you finish your story? Did they get the help bell back? Wilma gave Biff her book. Why don't you find out? Said Wilma. You can read it if you like. So, girls, we have completed the reader of the quest. So, it was quite interesting. So, we can just have a lesson that the thing which belongs to the place should remain at that place. It should not be go to any evil's hands, any bad guy. So, girls, now we're going to do the question answers on the copy. Open your copies and now you can write the questions as you have